PR414 amplifier configured with the PR411 element. Connections.
PR414 board. And we give a basic breakdown on where the components are. This is a UHF section in here. This is the AM section. And this is the FM and TV section up in this area of the board here. These are the various filtering components for the bandpass filters. And this is the additional broadband pass filter. This is the wideband filter. The high-pass filter is up in here.
What frequency response is that?
This covers from 40 to 230 megs. That's the high end of it.
Okay.
And the low end down here, this is the total of 40 to 230, but with the different various filter traps for 156 megs for the marine band. I have band edges for 230 megahertz in here. We have a trap up in this area for the 2 meter band, 2 meter FM band, 144 megs. And then in this corner here we have a series trap for broadcast FM to reduce the level of FM into the board.
That gives about 15 dB.
It gives about
on the high end of the
15
FM
on the
band.
high end of the FM band, right? We use that for source of to kind of attenuate the FM strength from normal
Okay.
broadcast.
Are we looking at
bands.
upside down, really?
No, you're looking at this is the component
Because all
side
of
of the board.
the
The component
lettering.
numbers, well, we could turn around the other way if that helps.
Should we start over again?
No, we can do that. It's
Okay.
just a practice session, because from here we just work on a regular
Here we have the
regular
414 board, and it's shown with connectors on it, because this is
It's
our
a test
sample.
test sample piece.
And it has, what are these two connectors for, or two cables for
These are
here?
just test connecting. One is a UHF, the other is a VHF FM.
Okay.
AM testing cables, that's all we connect them with in here.
Okay.
This is our input, the DC cable and the output cable. DC input and signal output.
And this
Yeah.
is where the cable tie would go for the
Time
coax.
to go with that with the coax, right. Right. And these are your two AM transistors in here.
What are those AM transistors?
One is a BC 440, yeah, what is it now? I forget what the number was. I think it's 340. Let me look at it real quick. Just hold the key down. 547. This is a BC 547, and this is a BC 557. This is an NPN transistor. This is a PNP transistor.
Okay, they work as a pair.
As a pair, right.
What kind of pair? It's not a Darlington pair.
No, complementary
Complementary
pair.
symmetry?
Right.
Are you
right.
sure?
Yep.
We need to look that up and know for that.
Series line.
I have that somewhere.
Uh-huh.
If you can't find it, I can find it in some of
Like a
Ben's notes.
typical audio lines, you'll have a PNP and a PNP in series, which it's effectively it's a push-pull configuration when you're done with it.
Okay.
And up in here we're using BFR 91As. These are UHF low noise transistors.
Microwave, actually.
Microwave types, right? And we're using both a pair of them in the UHF area and a pair in the VHF FM TV section in here. And on the back side we have a couple of components. We have surface mount transistors for the emitters for the BFR
Surface mount resistors.
91 resistors. Yeah.
Point to them again. Yeah.
And then there's one
One
here,
there.
there's one here,
Mhm.
there's one down in here,
Mhm.
and camera's in the way. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one here.
Okay.
That's all the components we have on the back
What are
side
those
of the
coils
board.
for that are there?
These coils here? That's
No. Yeah.
yeah, that's for your UHF. That's a printed circuit, tune circuit for UHF.
What does it do? What kind of a filter is it?
That's part of your low pass filter.
Part of the low pass.
Should show that a high pass filter.
High
because
pass
the
filter.
cutoff is at 470 megs on up to 1 gigahertz. That's what this frequency spread is. Typically up to
Okay.
890
And this next one?
megs. This next one's the same thing. That's on both ends of the board. That your high pass filters.
You mean both ends?
Well, the input circuit and the out. This is the input circuit, and this is the output circuit.
Okay.
Okay, for your UHF. And,
Now, when you connect the two elements, the big element connects
here
here and here.
the big element connects between here and, let's see, this is UHF, this is the UHF section. A small element connects between here and ground. We mount it on the top of the board, the big element. The small element would go between here, and it loops around to the chassis ground.
Okay, when we do this later, we'll have to show a piece of wire on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. We could show the whole thing, then complete assembly. We'll take the board separately and then complete assembly.
Okay.
And then the big loop is for the FM and AM, and that's to get that loops around and that terminates back on the negative side of
Okay.
the board. And the
Now, what about
completed
tuning?
assembly. The only tuning we have is these bandpass filters in here in the traps for the pieces, and so we do that all with instrumentation. And we'll have a regular spec sheet on there, what the patterns look like, and identifying each
What
coil.
we'll do then is we'll show you playing with those coils, and we'll show what happens on the spectrum
Yeah,
analyzer.
right.
And I'm probably going to have the circuit board up close to the spectrum analyzer so we can see them
Yeah,
both
you
at
can
the
go
same
while
time.
it's touching, and then you can get a reaction from the back over there.
Let's see how that'll work.
Piece it together.
Put it up there and see, just close, and see if I might be able to get them both
Over
together.
here.
It would probably have to be sitting on a.
How close you get in here? Well, I think you can just take and focus on the board and then
Okay.
run it onto the screen. You
We
can see the
probably
end
have to
result.
clamp it there somehow, like that.
Uh-huh.
And then you could tweak those, and we could see what's happening. What do you think?
Well, you can just describe it. First, you show what
No, but
coil
we
you
can
adjust.
see it. You see how that looks on a monitor there?
Yeah, maybe
You could
we
tweak
do
the
that.
coil, and then you
Yeah.
can see what happens. What do you think?
Right, yeah, it might be big enough display. We can try that to try that
Have to
out.
put it on a little tripod to keep it
Yeah.
still like that.
Right. And,
Okay, me son.
Well, we also use these things. Don't forget, we got a test fixture that these things all clamp into. You might be able to utilize that. So we got the clean boards and stick them in there and see how that would work for
Here's
us.
a test fixture.
Oh, this is a different one. The other fixture's the right one for this board. That's for the PR.
Okay, where is the other one?
It should be up there. There's two of them up there. There's two of them up there. And here, then you can flip over to there and see as you wiggle it.
Yeah, but if
How
I
the
go
thing
back and
shifts.
forth and back and forth,
No, you
It
should
doesn't-
first you focus on it like adjusting the FM trap, right? We'll show it there. This is the FM trap we're adjusting. We could show the tool in there, what we're doing, and now you look on the screen, you can see the.
no, I
the
want to show
trap
them
and-
both at the same time. So
Yeah,
when
I
you're
don't see
making the
them do that.
adjustment, you see the screen. Now, somehow, let me see, I have to go wide angle here. Can you hold that up there for me?
Yeah.
It'll be some way where we'll be able to see both at the same time. When you're doing the thing, it'll show the wiggle change,
Uh-huh.
okay? Perhaps it'll be like that.
Yeah, but well, we'll have to see because once we get into the screen, you'll have to have it spread it out far enough to see to identify the right trap. Otherwise, there's 3 or 4 of them in there.
Well,
It's hard to discern
here's
which one you're
something else.
adjusting in there. See, that's why I say.
is if we had this and hit it on here, then we get a much better picture of what's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Oh,
I guess it actually goes like this. And see, it's not too difficult for us to put that on there. like
Yeah,
that.
well, we just have to.
And have a tripod so it'll show both things at the same time.
Yeah.
You tweak and what happens.
Mhm.
Okay, how about putting the screen on?
Yeah, you can.
Trying to actually I can come closer than that because we only have to show part of the waveform, and
Right.
I can tilt the camera a bit. I think that'll work.
No.
Here's the PR 414.
Phone particularly, this is 411.
You can, I'm sorry, 411. The cable exiting through the bottom here. The tie wrap. And the connections to the elements. Soldered in the slot. The soldering actually occurs on the back side of the board. And here's the cable coming out the flange. On the 411, We simply have washers here. We don't use the casting because this is a yacht antenna and it's not subjected to the forces that we have on workboat antenna.